Yo, what's cracking everyone? Ericship 111 here. Now today I want to talk about something a little bit different. Forza Horizon 4 is coming to its 1-year anniversary, and to be honest, looks to be slowing down in terms of new content, and with the upcoming release of Need for Speed Heat, the open world racing genre is running quite thin. I do fault Playground Games a little on this because they had an opportunity to blow us away with Forza Horizon 4 being the first game to be launched on the new Xbox One X console, but unfortunately it just hasn't. The leap that Horizon 4 has had over its predecessor is hard to determine, and at this point I do not see the game lasting until 2021, which is the rumored year as to when Forza Horizon 5 will be due. So instead of constantly blabbering on about how to improve Forza Horizon 4, let's look forward to the future as a community on their next title. They should already be developing Forza Horizon 5 as we speak, and since they will have a 3-year development process as opposed to their usual 2, I do expect big things from Horizon 5 as it's a series I'm really passionate about and I don't want to see them fail. So in today's video, hopefully I can speak on some of your behalves as I present 5 new features we want to see for Forza Horizon 5. Starting off with number 1, the location. Okay, so far we've had the United States of America in the original Forza Horizon, Europe in Horizon 2, Australia in Horizon 3, and the United Kingdom for Horizon 4. Now, even before when Forza Horizon 4 was revealed at E3, many speculations and rumors were pointing that Horizon 4 was to be set in Japan, and to be honest, it would have made a lot of sense, but it wasn't. When the trailer released, many were a little disappointed that it wasn't set in the land of the rising sun, as a majority of the community were excited that perhaps Forza will now further enhance the car cultures in its series by bringing their game to a country that has one of the largest and unique automotive scenes in the world. So for myself and many, having Forza Horizon 5 set in Japan would honestly be a dream. Not just for us, but the developers too, because right now, if we look at all open world races, or even open world games for that matter, the United States of America, Europe, it's all been done before, and even though some places we see in different games, it still feels familiar, which I think part of the reason why Horizon 3 was so successful was because it was set in Australia, a location not many other games have been set before. There's this big void to fill in open world races at the moment, and should it be set in Japan, the sales of Horizon 5 will go through the roof because it's unique, it's never been done before, and that will be great for both the community and developers. Number 2, the map. Given that now we have chosen Japan as a location, what would we like to see on the map? Well, first off, the size. I'm sorry, but the current size that we have in Horizon 4 is not going to cut it for Forza Horizon 5, particularly if it's going to be set on the newer generation consoles, and that's regardless on where Playground Games will actually set their next game. It's just simply too small, especially if you're going to have another 3-year cycle again. Because you see, I usually judge how good a game is based on their predecessor, and if we're going to compare both Horizon 3 and 4 map sizes, it's barely an improvement. Yeah, sure, there's more levels and undulations, but that is simply not enough to be classed as better. Map sizes should increase with each game, and to be honest, The Crew 2 has kind of spoiled this for us as their map of the United States is huge. It literally takes nearly an hour to drive from one side of the map to another at top speed in a Koenigsegg Regera, whereas in Forza Horizon 4, it probably takes around 6 minutes, which isn't even comparable. So for me, I would love a map size that's at least twice, if not 3 times, bigger, including 2 major cities now, like Tokyo or Osaka, a nice handful of smaller suburbs or towns similar to Byron Bay in Horizon 3, really emphasizing the true essence of Japan, the feel of what it could possibly be like if you were to visit there, and really place every road and landmarks properly so it can also bring out the best through the way we drive, which leads to my next point. Number 3, modes to suit the location. Of course, the map is one of the most important things in the Horizon series, and should Horizon 5 be set in Japan, at least 4 things must be included, and that is lots of toge or mountain roads for all the drifters, highway racing like Wangan Midnights or Kanjo Loops, a proper integration of a car meet, and true racetracks. With the mountain roads, there just needs to be many of these. It's a true testament on how good of a drifter you really are. I mean, in Horizon 4, we had, one long mountain drift road in Fortune Island, and one of the best roads for drifting was classed as a speed zone. I mean, come on, even though it's set in the United Kingdom, that's a bit scarce, considering the community have been asking for many drift roads for quite some time. So for the mountain roads, I would create a new game mode called the Toge Race. Basically, it's a point-to-point drift race, either uphill or downhill, or even both, going up and down, and it's based on how many points you can accumulate by drifting, and also the time you finish. And then the score will adjust at the end of the race to find out who was the better Toge racer. That's just one example. I'm open to hear what your opinions are. In regards to highway racing, we could possibly have a midnight race mode where it could be a race around the city highway loop or a top speed to see how long it would take for you to lose your opponent. I mean, these racing modes already exist in other games, but I'm certain Playground Games are innovative enough to make it their own without losing the authenticity of these street battles in Japan. Of course, proper racetracks would be ideal. Since Forza Horizon 4's LEGO expansion, they experimented with an actual, fictional racetrack. It's proven that it's a direction we want in the Horizon series, and also given that there is a lack of Japanese racetracks in the Motorsport series, what a great way to either revive some of the older tracks like Tsukuba or Twin Ring Motegi from the older Forza titles, or perhaps introduce new tracks like the Fuji Speedway or even the Ebisu Drift Park. That would be insane. And for the car meets, I haven't really thought too much about it, but one idea is every player has one car they can show off by default, so if you go offline, your car will be displayed in some parking lot in a car meet where other players can come have a look, almost taking some elements from the car meets in Horizon 2 and also the Crew 2 as well, where you can see what tune or paint job have been applied, and you're able to stroll around to see what other cars are there at the car meet. But for now, I'll keep it at that until the next video. But let's move over to point number 4, the cars. I'm so sick and tired of the Forza Horizon series bringing in cars that no one wants to drive, but are only in it due to laziness, and also inflate the total car numbers so it sounds good on paper. I would honestly rather have 250 cars that I would want to drive than 650 where most of them I won't. Because then at least with the proper chosen 250 cars, the next DLCs they bring in, I know I'm going to enjoy each car. However, with such an inflated car list, who knows what type of DLCs they are going to bring. It's usually always a miss with maybe 1 or 2 cars that we actually want to drive. So why not spend some time in choosing proper vehicles? If the game's set in Japan, more emphasis on JDM vehicles. I'm not saying all must be, but perhaps some new ones that have never been seen in the Forza title, like the Nissan Stagia, Nissan Pulsar GTIR, Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 3. I mean, the list goes on. Just take a brief look at Gran Turismo 6 car list, and that's all I really ask. Not even the whole thing, maybe a couple of pages. Yes, I know it's a lot of work, but honestly, more work in the long run is better than porting cars from another game that we won't even drive. Hypothetically, let's say Toyota changes their mind by 2021 and they return. Oh my goodness, what a recipe for success. You could include both Lexus and Toyota, and we know just how large their JDM lineup truly is. The Horizon series has only really scratched the surface with those cars, and even pre-tuned cars like the cars back in Forza Motorsport 4, like the HKS Evolutions, Mines Skyline GTR, the Mugen Civic and Integra Type Rs. Imagine newer modded cars from those tuning companies in Forza Horizon 5. There's seriously a lot that could be achieved in this game. And my last point, polished from the beginning. I must say Forza Horizon 4 was not very good from launch. Unfinished features like creator route, an abundance of glitches, a lot of features removed from the previous title. I don't know, the game felt unfinished, and that leads a bad taste to all the players, as first impressions are very important. I know I'm requesting a lot. Within the span of 3 years, create an open world racer across the other side of the world, bring in pages upon pages of new cars that have never been in the franchise before. Like, how could they possibly even launch a game like this in 2021 polished? Truth is that it's probably near impossible, which is why I would suggest to release a game with its core functions and features working with very minimal bugs to exploit. Because if they have a game with the right map, the right cars, even if it's a smaller amount, but the cars that suit the location, and every feature we loved has returned, we can all get behind that, and that is a game that can possibly last for 3 years, as opposed to the current state of what we see in Forza Horizon 4. So there we have it, guys. 5 features that I would like to see for Forza Horizon 5. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any suggestions, make sure to write it down in the comment section below. I do read them. If you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button. That would really help me out. And also, if you guys would like to see more Forza Horizon 4 content right here on this channel, make sure to click the subscribe button with notifications turned on. That way you won't ever miss out on another video that goes live. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.